What's going on, everybody? I'm here at the PGA Tour studios down in Florida to show you guys how AWS and the Tour are partnering to power innovation in the world of golf. I'm joined by my friend Trey here. Trey, what do you do for the PGA Tour?
Hi, my name is Trey Pezzetti. I'm an AI product manager here at the PGA Tour. One of those innovations that AWS has helped us with is our new studios building. Let's go check it out.
Awesome, let's see it. So why don't we start from the beginning here? When did AWS and the Tour partner, and what made that partnership make sense from y'all's perspective?
Yeah, the partnership started in 2020, long before I joined the tour, but we really wanted to revamp our technology from all the way from the golf course through our fan experiences. And we really wanted to go to a leader in the sports industry, not only from a data perspective, but also from a fan experience perspective.
That's awesome. And we've worked on a ton of projects over the years, including some exciting ones we're debuting this weekend. But what were some of those earlier projects we worked on?
Yeah, the first one, when we first started the partnership, was really focusing on migrating from on-prem to the cloud and making sure that all of our applications ran serverless. That was a massive update, and it's paying dividends today as we look to continue our innovation. We also worked with you guys on Every Shot Live, which is done here for some of our big tournaments. And the focus of that is making sure that our fans have video feeds for every player, for every shot that they hit during a tournament.
I know we've got some really cool things we're announcing at the tournament this weekend. We're going to get into them in a minute here. What's the little preview that we can give the audience?
Yeah, because of all the great foundational work we've done with AWS, we're really able to move to focus on a lot of innovation. And one of those innovations is generative AI, using a bunch of AWS tools, including Bedrock. And we've done that to launch our AI shot commentary, which is something that we're really excited about, and we're going to go through today.
Perfect. I think we got a demo up here. Why don't we showcase it?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Welcome back to the live show. And you might notice we're joined by our first guest of the show today from the PGA Tour studios. And I think Florida. Is that right? Florida. We have Elaine, Chaisson. Elaine, welcome to the show. And maybe let's start by introducing who you are and what do you do at AWS?
Well, I'm going to make Todd, you and Nick very jealous because my job is the golf course. Like that's where I do my work. So I lead the global golf team at AWS. Very cool job. And what my team and I do is take the really hard problems that golf organizations have and use AWS technology to help them solve that. And I've had the privilege of working with PGA Tour for over 7 years now.
That's fantastic. And first off, we are incredibly jealous, especially because I don't know if you heard, Todd really needs to work on that golf game of his. But it sounds like we've got the right expert here. I loved getting the chance to film on site with y'all there, and I've been really excited to talk to you since then. You're the right expert for these kinds of questions. I know AWS and the PGA Tour have obviously partnered on a lot of stuff. Before we dive into all the new things, I thought it would be cool to review with our viewers what some of the stuff we've worked on previously is. So Trey mentioned a migration project. What was the background there? What did that involve?
So one of the most important migration projects we did with the tour is take 100 years of videos, so all of this rich data of traditions of golf, and migrate that into the cloud. So previously, these videos were on tapes, these cassette tapes.
What are those? I don't.
And for some of those, probably, I don't know if this is younger audience, like 8-tracks, if anyone even remembers that, but it's just these cassettes, rows and rows of them. And, if you think about a broadcast, you want to show a shot where maybe Rory just made at a tournament, compare it to what Jack Nicklaus did, years and years back. It wasn't really able to do that with these tapes that were just in these silos. So we took all those videos, we ingested into AWS. We took these piles and piles of cassettes and lit them on fire, toasted some marshmallows, and then built the workflows for the videos to go right into AWS. And today we have about 25 petabytes. I don't know if our audience knows what a petabyte is. Probably simplest form is 1 petabyte is about 20 million file cabinets. So line up 20 million file cabinets times 25, and that's what we ingested into AWS.
Dang, I also love how y'all combined the cloud with s'mores there. I appreciated that.
Yeah, petabyte is always something that's like hard for me to wrap my head around how much data that actually is. And every time I think of a petabyte, I think of some health conscious food. Like that's like you eat your petabytes. That's what but that's not what it is. We're talking about the cloud. And we have a lot of people in our chat who are very interested in the cloud. They're coming here to learn, which is very cool. So we helped the PGA Tour migrate some media, those old grainy, cool golf videos 100 years ago, which is very cool. But we have we started doing work with the data around the rounds themselves. Is that right, Elaine?
That's exactly right. So if you think about it kind of in the simplest form, AWS runs the infrastructure that PGA Tour runs its business on, candidly. So what we did was when they moved into about 3 years ago, this beautiful new global home headquarters, they didn't take any infrastructure, no servers, storage, networking, there's no data centers. All of that is in AWS.
Wow. And, I think that kind of leads perfectly into my next question, which was what Trey led into. So Every Shot Live was another big project we did in the early days of this partnership. I think I remember you saying it was something like the banner on the initial agreement or something. So what was Every Shot Live? Can you give us some background on that?
Yeah, Nick. So I think the North Star, maybe that was really, yes, the North Star. So that really drove our partnership. So if you think about the tour's vision around Every Shot Live, it's to show every single shot from any player, any tournament around the globe on the broadcast.
Wow.
That is extremely hard to do. If you think about, a typical tournament, there's about 30,000 shots. And today only about 7,000 to 8,000 are on the broadcast, except when we produce Every Shot Live. And so the tour did that recently in Ponte Vedra Beach a couple weeks ago. And they took 120 cameras and streamed everything from the very first tee shot to the last putt of the day, over 48 streams on ESPN+. And that all ran in AWS.
That's pretty amazing.
That is pretty cool. I know when I'm watching golf live, I'm watching the main group, but I'm constantly refreshing a page to see who's doing what and what's going on elsewhere in the course. And I'm really excited to kind of jump into this next segment and kind of see this in action. Shall we roll the next tape?
Let's do it.